Welcome to the Lethality Assessment Program database website. My name is Charlie Sampson, and in this training video, I will show you how to enter your lethality screening data as if you were a liaison from a domestic violence agency. The first thing you must do once accessing the website is go to the top right corner of the home page, and on the menu bar you will see Log In. You must log into the site to gain access to your data. By clicking Login, it will bring you to the Login page, where you will enter your user ID and password that you have chosen when registering to access this site. Once entering that, you can either hit the Enter key, click on the Login button, and that will bring you back to the home page. You'll notice that in the menu bar on the top, that Login has now changed to Log Out. This tells you that you are logged into the website and you have access to your data. I would also recommend that you log out of the system after using it so that no unauthorized access to the system can be gained. From the main menu here on the home page, you can access the data entry menu button, or you can simply come down here to number 2, adding data, and click on that to access your data entry page. Once you've done that, you will find your data entry page and a few key things that are on this page itself. First of all, the year that you're entering the data for, the month that you are entering the data for, and the agency. Should be your agency, and in this example, I am a liaison from the Hope House. Another key visual is the cities and towns that you're responsible for from your agency listed. And because I do it in 10, there's a paging system down here that will allow you to skip through and access other cities and towns associated with your domestic violence agency. You will notice that some of these towns are highlighted in a white background, where others are highlighted with the light blue background. The light blue represents the fact that no information was entered by the local police agency or sheriff's office for this town for the month of October of 2018. I would recommend that you watch the training video on the task report, which will show you how to send out a gentle reminder on entering data by the local towns or sheriff's offices. Going back to my example here for entry of data, we're going to use the town of Adams, who we can see has put in 6 lethality screens, 2 high danger, 3 non-high danger, 1 did not answer, and 4 spoke to workers. It's your responsibility as the liaison for the domestic violence agency to enter the officer calls and went to service for the month of October. Simply done. Click on the edit key, enter your numbers, click on update. You'll get a little message telling you it has been updated successfully, and your numbers will be entered into the database. Once again, Town of Montello, we'll just go in and enter our numbers as a DV agency liaison. We had 3 officer calls and 1 person came to service. I simply click update, and my data has been entered for the Town of Montello. Now, if we go back to page number 1, there's something else that you will have noticed. Clicking on page 1 here. City of Adams - Adams Sheriff. If you do happen to see a town or a city or a village that's followed up by the local sheriff's office, what this means is that the Adams Sheriffs covered a call in the city of Adams that required them to do a lethality screening. Typically, this happens when the city of Adams doesn't have any cars available and the sheriff's office sends a mutual aid car to handle the incident for them. You are still responsible following up on this entry for the city of Adams Sheriff's Office, by entering your own numbers. So I'll just go in here and I'll say that we got 1 officer call and nobody came to service. Now, these numbers will still remain associated to the Adams Sheriff's Department when you run your monthly reports. They will not be equated to the City of Adams. So if they didn't enter any information like it says here so far for October, and they don't enter any or zeros for the month of October, you will still see that a lapse screening occurred in the City of Adams, but that incident was handled by the Sheriff's Office. Another thing to remember when entering data, as a liaison for a domestic violence agency, you have until the 15th of the month to enter the prior month's data. What I mean by that is, in an example, I'm in the month of November making this training video. On midnight of November 15th, I will no longer be allowed to go back and access any data from the month of October. So starting on November 16th, what I would have to do is send any changes off to the Coalition Against Domestic Violence administrator who oversees this product and have them change the numbers for me because their dates are not set. They're allowed to change data at any time. One last item on this screen here, add other towns. What this allows you to do is, and I'll pick an example here, the Village of Westfield. The Village of Westfield has its own police department, is not covered by the Sheriff's Department. Once again, the Sheriff goes to this Village of Westfield and does a lapse screening, but contacts you and says, listen, our date to enter this data has passed. Could you enter it for me? Well, like the example on the page number 1, where it would be the Village of Westfield - Adams Sheriff, you don't have that option available to you to enter the data for them. What you can do is come up here to add other towns, check this checkbox, and now if we go back here, page number 5, you will notice that the Village of Westfield does now have an entry for the Village of Westfield Adams Sheriff's Office. You can simply enter that data by clicking on the edit, and let's say that it turned out it was actually not a high danger, but a non-high danger call. One person spoke to the worker, the officer called, and one party ended up coming to service. I update this, and now my entry for the Village of Westfield Adams Sheriff's Office has been entered into the data. Once again, unclicking this, add other towns, will take that away, but you will see that it will remain here because we have entered data for this. Similar to page 1, where you can see the City of Adams, the Adams Sheriff's Office, entered its data. So that is it for the data entry. I thank you for watching this video.